Circuit Podcast, episode number 17. Today we have a lot of our usual suspects. I'm standing here with me, PITTSBURGH. We also have with us Aethermech on the phone, I think.
Hello.
We also have a Larsh.
Hey everyone, I just killed a whole Little Caesar's pizza and a half a bottle of wine, so we're gonna see how it goes.
And a not abused old Bob by Commander Lemming.
Oh, that was funny, actually. I do want some pizza. Damn you, Larsh.
I don't know. I'm so full as it is.
Oh, God,
and today we are going to cover the Mechwarrior 5 trailer, as well as MechCon coming up, and I think some advent calendar daily events on Mechwarrior Online.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, anyone want to start their thoughts on Mechwarrior 5 first alpha footage trailer, I think?
Well, I guess to begin with, who here has seen the trailer? Or I guess the footage? I know I have.
I have.
Okay, first, before anything, we gotta say... Oh, sorry, go ahead, man.
I watched about 15 to 20 seconds of it, and I started bouncing around throughout the video, and then I kind of gave up.
We gotta say this is pre-alpha, so any criticisms we do have, they are based off this and not with the final product. So just so everyone know about that.
Yes, yes.
All right, well, I guess...
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'll do my part, and I'll just bring it up on my screen. So go ahead and go talking. I'll go ahead and I'll bring it up.
Well,
all right. So my first impressions are, at least, you know, it's it's a little rough around the edges for sure. But I think obviously being able to make use, I think it's CryEngine. It looks kind of CryEngine-y. The much newer, much updated CryEngine is very nice. Like the environments, particularly, look a lot better than like Mechwarrior Online.
They look amazing.
Yes, exactly. So I think this is totally the chance for them to start using and pioneering new tech. Like when it starts up, there's a lot more stuff with lighting and sound effects and all that. So yeah, it is off to a fairly good start, but I would also have my criticisms with its sort of its roughness, and also the roughness of the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the user interface definitely needs some work, though. Basically, this is based off of, from 1997, when they used to have Mechwarrior, like, the first ones. This is like kind of what that user face looks like. Basically, like on a game, especially something flashy like this, they should have something like a really beautiful looking cockpit and like different UI screens and all that kind of stuff. This is 25. 30, 25, 28, somewhere around there, fourth succession war, should have something that looks at least, a little bit better than what, 1997 graphics are.
The UI is, it's minimal. So I don't know if that's their main choice for the style or if they're going to update it because,
I hope not.
Yeah, they've gone fairly minimalistic with the UI, and like everything on the HUD is this uniform green color.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing necessarily jumps out to you, like the heat bar, though the heat doesn't necessarily build up that much. Like
I noticed that too.
Yeah, I think just looking at it, it is actually fairly crisp. Like the actual because what they're doing, instead of that uniform paper doll for every single mech, they're actually got the outline of every single component of the mech. And yeah, I personally don't mind it. It's just, for me, it would be a matter of utility and possible immersion that is an issue with the UI. Like I don't necessarily share those all those complaints.
And,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, and actually, by looking over the video, he said that they have the outline of every single component. I still see the old school just paper doll in game.
For the Shadowhawk, it very much looks like the standard paper doll. However, that is Shadowhawk shaped. But when you get to something that's very weird, like the catapult, the paper doll it's like a catapult, and its quote-unquote side torsos is actually sort of around the outside of the center from the front view.
Okay, I got you now.
So
that's
it's
interesting.
actually Yeah, it's kind of interesting, though it also means it's kind of awkward seeing how damaged its side torsos are.
The one thing I was going to add,
it's kind of jumbled. I was just gonna say it's very pretty, but it's jumbled, and kind of wonky looking.
Yeah, yeah. Just like I said, 1997 graphics based off the old Mercenaries game. One thing I wanted to add to the user like interface of what they can do a 3D like image of a map. Because I know, like, if you watch the sci-fi shows that are on right now, basically a lot of them they have a 3D map, like a UI HUD that comes up from from the console setup, but just a flat 2D map. Make it like a 3D map. Be kind of nice to have, where kind of like in space they have those, for certain games. Just be neat. It's just flashy is what they need, basically.
Yeah, I would say totally in terms of utility, the current map is really not up to scratch. It's sort of, I wonder how they do these maps, but it reminds me of the old days when I played Thunder Brigade, and it's a voxel map, so it's just sort of like, I don't know, like you turn on a night vision goggles and look down from above, but only from a very close-up distance, so it doesn't tell you anything about the nearby terrain, and they've kind of got these wispy red triangles and bits and bobs all over the place that, just, it's really sort of hard to tell anything from that map. It's not really useful.
Yeah, true. True. Like I know basically from 3028, they didn't really have too much tech per se, so I can understand if they bring it down a little bit as far as flashiness. I actually think about it just now, actually. But yeah, just the UIs need some work. The like I said, or you said actually, Biter, the terrain looks absolutely freaking amazing. I'm so happy about that. Looks great. The destructive detail looks amazing. I'm very happy about, like, when you hit, clip the side of a building, it shows like the internal structure like of the building. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, and I'm actually watching right now, and there was one small part that, Bob, is that the person in the Shadowhawk shot at a flag of House Liao, and the flag caught fire, and the flag keeps smoldering. I think that's a really nice little small nod to like detail in a game like this.
He did that on purpose. Like, you can imagine the supervisor over his shoulder saying, shoot the flag, we've done the flags!
God, yeah. But just a little tiny detail like in a game actually makes, like Fallout 4, when you have your radio on your Pip-Boy going, and then also radio that's actually like inside the shop you're at or something like that, you can notice the sound effects about where the radio is, the right or left hand speaker. Little details like that actually make a game. And same thing with Mechwarrior 5, they put a ton of details like into the game. Be great, and that's what makes a really good game no matter what.
Yeah, I would say, in terms of the environments, it looks fairly good. They're making sure to make everything sort of destructible, which makes sense if you've got this big giant stompy robot. I like that they do at least the decals on the ground that, when you shoot AC5 by accident into there because, you're a great pilot. It leaves a nice big giant crater. And the only thing I would say about these particular skyscraper building things, and it's sort of my own little issue sometimes with CryEngine, is, they're covered with lots of glass and they're all really shiny and it's a bit too uniform. Like, if you have a giant wall of glass in front of you in Cry, it doesn't necessarily look the bestest because obviously, to some degree, not actual skyscrapers don't necessarily always look like, I don't know, perfect glass shards up into the sky. There's that glass is transparent. It's not perfectly reflective like this stuff.
Now, granted, this might be because I haven't been reading a whole lot, but I thought they weren't doing CryEngine for this game.
Yeah, I could have swore it was Unreal 5.
That's what I thought.
Could be Unreal. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
I'm no expert on the on engines, so to be fair.
That's what Ian's for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because Ian, who sadly cannot be here, he's a huge fanboy of this game. We were hoping he could be here, but he can't. But
he's also much more in the know about game development stuff.
Yes, than we are. So, but we're gonna keep going. But yeah, like I could have swore. Now, granted, we all have Google. I could do right now, but lazy. I would. But I could have swore they said that this was gonna be not on CryEngine. It was gonna be on Unreal.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess to me, either one's like, okay, cool, it's on that one. Just make it good. That's all I care about. But
well, it's definitely pretty. There's lots of
oh,
room
yeah.
for them to improve, but hopefully they make it functional and pretty.
There's a couple things that I wanted to go ahead and like stress. Granted, this is alpha stage, so this is just my own criticism of the game and how I am. But when you look back on the dropship, it should have had more decals, basically, as far as like maybe like death from above, or like their own personal thing, like of the house unit that they were from, or the mercenary group that they were from, something like that. Like including actually the city itself could have been a little bit better as far as decals, I guess, basically as far as putting details like billboards or like advertisements or the whatever basically of a normal city, because this just looks like a freaking like a, I don't know what that looks like, to tell you the truth. The
Like
tank,
It's kind of
Yeah.
it looks corporate in a way.
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
corporate
Yeah.
skyscrapers.
but even corporate skyscrapers, they'll have some type of like piece out in front that some showpiece or something, just like whatever, put more
Yeah.
detail like into that.
Well, they might be getting to
Uh,
that soon, I would hope.
So yeah,
But
yeah,
obviously, the thing with any alpha gameplay or whatever is that you get the whole production team to sort of rush together one kind of pitch for your game, because you don't necessarily have all the bits and pieces that you wish you could have together. You don't do level A, then level B, then level C. No, you
pop stuff down.
obviously you make building, and then you put that into the auto level generator into level A, B, C, D, whatever. There's
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's just say for criticism for later on. How's that?
yeah, I
basically.
don't think. Yeah, I don't mind them having not showing you very particular stuff like that, because a thing like this is going to be very much sort of thrown together. I mean, there's little nitpicks or things that could be just kind of be funny to point out. Like, he comes out of the dropship, he looks back, and the dropship's just full of rotating, flashing. I think was it. Red lights, and it's just like that. You're going a bit over the top with the red lights, but yes, it's kind of pretty inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think for a pre-game beta, this looks good.
Oh yeah,
it looks
it does
very
look good. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
Just I think like I guess I'm like the type of person where like I used to play test a bunch of stuff, and the sounds is what also makes a game too. And if you looked at the laser or the medium laser that he had, didn't really, I could barely even tell he even shot that thing. It
Yeah.
doesn't really have like
the visual.
Haven. Yeah, the visual plus also the sound itself. Sounds what really makes a game, no matter what. And the visual for the laser just was like, okay, I guess he shot a laser. That's kind of cool. But
Yeah,
sorry,
I
go
think
ahead.
they're going for the visual effect of like if you have a laser beam and smoke.
Yeah.
You can only see sort of bits of it when it actually hits smoke particles, but it doesn't always. And they're
Yeah.
sort of doing that. Obviously, it's not actually in smoke, but they're trying to give it a quote unquote realistic look. But I would say, yeah, it doesn't, like, even in Mechwarrior Online, when you fire a laser, it makes a big, huge noise so that you're actually firing it. And lasers are quite hot and supposed to be quite powerful weapons. That laser is as powerful as his autocannon 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And actually in the chat we do have it is Reality Deviant saying that Russ did announce that it was going to be Unreal.
Oh, okay. Unreal.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Unreal.
Okay.
All right. So the other things, I would say though, the other weapons though, the autocannon, the missiles, sort of flying out and hitting the target. It looks quite cathartic, at least when you've only got these 3 things he's using over and over again.
Cathartic.
Well, just the slow moving and slow firing SRM projectiles, when they hit their target, have a real effect on target, along with the AC-5, because at least with the tanks and aircraft, they're fairly squishy. So landing a few shots of them feels, it's just like, haha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Whereas in Mechwarrior Online, of course, if you hit someone with SRM2,
Yeah,
aha, I've hit you with some paper mash. I've hit you some paper.
Yeah, that's all it
my
really
wet paper.
is.
Well, yeah, basically, I know what really concerned me though is he as a mercenary, would you go with a Shadowhawk, a medium mech, a 55-ton mech, going in versus an Atlas 2 heavies and 2 lights and untold numbers or legions of helicopters and tanks. I
Well,
don't think anyone would do that.
I mean, granted, I think this is more of a test run of say, hey, this is what we can do. I'm sure. I would hope that in the real game, that wouldn't be a thing.
I hope so. Even how squishy they are. I mean, come on. I mean, I would never. Oh, let's go attack the Atlas and the Jaegermech and the catapult and 2 locusts and the untold legions of tanks and helicopters. No.
I would say.
Advocate, I'm gonna say I hope it is like that, and there's just a ton of repair bays just scattered across the land.
I mean, yeah, it does. I would say this thing gives me very much the impression that it is them just sort of throwing a random guy onto it and him just running around and mucking about, and then them uploading this as the first 10 minutes of new gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, basically. But even if they have this as normal, though, I'll be concerned. My concerns will be heightened if they have this in the normal gameplay, though.
Well, I would
even
say,
in the Battletech one.
I would say though, at least my concerns in some regards is that with marketing, it's really important they have the best first impressions.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
Whilst they have limited means, you don't necessarily want to show somebody bucking about because you want to try and sell, particularly with the Mechwarrior franchise. It's more about, or at least there's a much more simulation market you're trying to tap into. To that degree, you really wanted this guy to actually do the damn objective and not run around like a mindless pug.
That was my biggest thing. I was like, where's he going? And then on top of that, other people.
Objective was actually.
Yeah, and on top of that, people in the chat are also pointing out that if you actually watch the first half of the video, he actually has what's called the God mode enacted. So he's actually not even taking damage until he turns it off when he's in the base. So yeah.
I mean, that's the sort of thing, at least with the simulation side. Why are we starting it with 999 ammo? I mean. Started with, I mean, the problem with the stock mech, particularly
Don't ban us, Russ. Don't ban us.
It has 1 ton of ammo for each weapon, so obviously he would only actually fire that AC5 like maybe 30 times or 100 times, 100 shots of the SRM2. If
how many
shots
you have for the AC5 though? How much?
Okay, he started 999 with everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man.
So I was going to say that this guy, he's got like a Larsh build, or at least Larsh would be quite happy. There's plenty.
Oh, I am very happy for all those shots that I missed. I need to pad my ammo with the armor.
Oh my god.
But anyway, digress is that I think one of the main things about this game that's gonna either break it or win it or save it is that essentially is the AI. I want to know how good the AI of this game is, because we're all used to Mechwarrior Online. They're all live people, for better or worse. But yeah, I think that's going to be a huge factor.
Potato Atlas.
What's that?
Yeah, the AI was quite potato.
Yeah.
There's Potato Atlas.
Now,
I think of the game they're gonna make it better though. As far as they're not gonna throw the Escort Atlas into this game. If they do, that's gonna break it.
Well, maybe we'll just say he's on the easy mode. Maybe there's a hard mode where the AI ramps up.
Or just obviously it's takes a while to actually figure out how game balance and how to actually make the AI work properly in this game. So yeah, they are just running around like potatoes. Like he charges towards the catapult, which I think has like PPCs, and so the catapult just sort of turns and runs away and shows his back.
Yeah, I saw that too actually. At 3 minutes 36 seconds, the tank just flipped.
Oh yeah. That was my other. I mean, that's one of my things I'd say about polish is that you're trying to show off this. This is your first foot in the game. You got to show off this thing. You got to sell it to the simulation crowd. You got to sell it as a cool looking game. And it's just a guy mucking about, and there's a tank flipping over. And
I saw that.
There's also in the city some helicopters struggle with colliding with the buildings, and so there's like a collision in midair, and there's one lying upside down. Yeah,
a few of the objects are really funny. Also, on the count of 3, say hi, Brios. 1, 2, 3. Hi,
Hey,
Brios! Okay.
But yeah, basically, I also saw a tank that was climbing over some crates, or whatever, or the big shipping containers. I'm like, that shouldn't be. But yeah, it does have some like issues. I mean,
Yeah,
definitely,
it's
the
just.
Atlas should have annihilated that Shadowhawk. But yeah,
Oh, he was too busy just staring at a building. Like he
I
walks
saw
forwards and
that.
forwards and
What the
just,
hell is he doing?
and then he's like, I shouldn't be looking at this building. I'm going to turn around. uh, I mean, that's sort of the funny thing with this. Is like initial impressions is like, oh wow, the environment looks quite good. The AC5 and SRM2 looks kind of cathartic when you're blowing up all these small squishy targets.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun threading the needle on helicopters and all these things skittering about. But then when I look at it in more detail, I'm like, wait a minute, this guy has like 999 ammo. This guy's supposed to destroy a target, and he never pursues it. He just runs around in circles. And there's this tank, it's having a dance party, spinning around on the spot. It's just sort of, everything turns into a little bit of a joke, and that is not what you want when you're trying to, get people pumped for this game.
Yep.
You want to put somebody in the driver's seat who sort of knows what they're doing, where they go around, they get the optional objective, they chase down the last target, and then they do a mad dash back to the dropship and escape. That would really, and they actually have ammo that they're trying to conserve. That would that means if I'm really looking to get engaged by this game, I look at all the details and go, yeah, it's really interesting having actually having limited ammo, where I'm going to take all this, I have to go after the objective, there's going to be an Atlas, there's going to be bigger mech coming after me. Like, at least for a simulationist crowd, I imagine there's a way better way you could sort of sell this first impression.
Yeah,
and that's
like
at least
you said.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And that's just my concern, at least, that you always want to put your best foot forward with marketing. And obviously, yes, I understand the game itself doesn't need to be polished completely, but just decisions like who you put in that driver's seat and what they try to achieve, along with little details like ammo and such like that, you should try and make it as simulation-y and realistic as possible. Just you put your best foot forward at PGI.
Yeah, exactly. Like just like you said, marketing is one of the major things that PGI actually has not a good grasp on per se, and to put something like this out. Did you guys watch the old Mechwarrior 5 thing with the Warhammer and the Atlas fighting each other like in the city streets?
Oh god, like how long ago was that?
Yeah, that was awesome. Basically,
that was
great.
God, that was like how many years?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
but that footage right there was perfect. I was pumped. I mean, I was like, yeah, give me a freaking Warhammer. Let me go in and just kill things. I was pumped and so ready for it. This kind of footage, as a creator, Larsh, that like when you look at like when you do your videos, look over the footage, do your edits, and then go through it again, and then go through it again, and then go through it again. And then you post it, like on a private, and then go through it again. Just make sure everything's okay. This kind of thing, like certain little details that Biter was, Biter and all of us were actually taking a look at. It's like first impressions are the main thing about this, and if they, being PGI who they are, I mean, they're a great company. Please don't ban us, Russ. Great company. But the whole thing is though that your marketing department just needs a lot of work. I mean, complete work. I'm not saying you're not the worst, but it's bad, and you got to put some stuff out that actually gets people pumped. Granted, people will be pumped about this game. They're going to have a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but certain details, the Mechwarrior Online crowd is such a niche market, a niche group of people. We're all cool. We have great community people, nice people, great people. That you screw up in a couple times, they'll know about it, and they'll go to something else like BattleTech or something. You got to make sure this marketing gets done well. And a tank flipping over 336, helicopters crashing the buildings, showing your first parts of like, this is the greatest thing of the whole Hawaii planet. Do it good. Do it first. Do it good the first time.
No, I would say that, in fairness, at least, I mean, we could be quite critical, and I always have to at least be critical because we're fans of Mechwarrior Online or PGI already. Like a lot of us are quite going to be eager about Mechwarrior 5, even if they had the worst marketing ever. I will say, even if they're just throwing it up raw like this, I prefer that than a pre-rendered cinematic.
Yeah, because it gives you more of an idea of what to expect. Because I mean, granted, Bob, I will agree the old school pre-rendered cinematic was fantastic, but we all know that the actual gameplay would never look like that.
Oh yeah, of course.
And from a technical standpoint, like I said, whilst there's a lot of little beans that we could pick, that obviously doesn't necessarily matter so much when it actually looks fairly feature complete, or at least the build they chucked together makes a lot of sense. This is actually a good pitch for the kind of things, the kind of environment you could play with. It moves around, it shoots fine, it looks very nice. All the things die, and you have all these unique little, like some of these actually gone out and done all these little dolls for the different mechs that appeared, and of course all the helicopters and tanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just definitely. For me, I miss having that cooldown bar at the bottom right for all the weapons. I miss seeing at the top right what weapons mechs have. I feel that's I feel blind not knowing what people have, which actually has its own benefits. But I like being able to lock onto a mech and find out what they've got.
Well, like what I thought was you can't in the game itself you can't modify your mechs though. It has to be stock builds, or right?
I'm saying, like, when you're facing the catapult, it just has the dull of the catapult. It doesn't say, 2 PPC, 2 medium laser, or whatever it is on that particular catapult.
Yeah, true.
And there's also some argument about how much of the mech lab's actually going to be there, about like whether or not you're going to be able to change anything, or you're just going to buy a completely different mech that's loaded different, or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully it's gonna be good. I just like we said, it's pre-alpha footage, so this is just kind of just us just criticizing what's out there and what could be better for later on. Just let everyone know about that.
Yeah.
From a technical standpoint, this is a huge step up from Mechwarrior Online, and it looks very, very pretty. I like that. It looks like it could be. It has a lot of good fundamentals. The AC5 and SRMs, in some degree, the medium laser. I think that needs some work, but for the most part, the shootingness looks quite nice. It looks like it could work quite well.
Yeah.
I just have little bones to pick with sometimes, little bits with the UI and a little bit with the presentation. But I like the honesty rather than just sort of hiding everything behind closed doors and only giving us pre-rendered stuff.
Yeah. Also, the scenery is what really caught my eye. The first thing I looked at was the scenery. It's like, wow, that's great. And then then how the mech moves. It actually moves like a mech, not
bobs,
like bobs, and that's what's really cool. Yeah, it bobs like Bob. So, yeah, it's definitely nice. And I like that. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So they did a good job. Good job. It just just like some things, I don't know. Anyways, I'll just shut up.
No, that's cool. So,
I would find it kind of hilarious if in the full release product, though I hope this isn't the case. You just run around like a maniac, and then all the tanks and helicopters are upside down.
Legions of tanks and helicopters upside down chasing.
And all the enemy battle mechs have run into buildings that are just staring at them.
Or they get stuck on a log or something.
Yeah, the classic stand on top of a building and watch as the AI screws itself over technique.
Oh my god.
Oh, I hope not. But I guess because of time, it is around 8:30ish my time. Just to give a small heads up to our viewers, they are doing an actual No Guts, No Galaxy podcast live stream. Yeah, I know. And they're going to go over MechCon and possible more details about Mechwarrior 5, maybe. So
pretty much over everything though, for next year.
Yeah,
probably
so
a roadmap as well.
Yeah, so today was our first impression of it. So I think we could probably go safely 15 more minutes before we don't cut into their own time as well.
Yeah, definitely. You'll definitely want to do that. So what'd you guys think of the article that was written by Polygon? I think it is. You guys read it?
I didn't read it.
I didn't read it either.
Oh my god, Bob.
Okay, so
no one read it.
So next thing we gotta go on.
I'm not gonna read something from Polygon.
What is this thing called a reading? I only watch things.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
what's that pictures riffs the coalition, where they have pictures for everything. Okay, never mind. Gotcha. So okay, how about how about the new event then?
Yeah, the 12 days for Advent. For those of you who don't know, and if you log into Mechwarrior Online, there's now a new daily event for free items.
My last thought on the Mechwarrior 5 thing.
Yes.
I was disappointed they didn't show the LRM5. It gave him all
Yeah.
that ammo, and I assume maybe they just didn't have it by release. They hadn't figured out mechanics.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that too. So I want to go see that.
It would have given him one more weapon to spam.
Yeah, and to just waste my
I'm
ammo.
wondering if what weapon group 4 didn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Weapon Group 4?
Weapon group 4, you know, the LRM5.
I'm fine.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Well, anyway, so moving on. So in game, for those of you who may have not logged in or have not seen online yet, there is a new 12-day Advent event. I don't think we need to spend a whole lot of time going into it. Again, it's just that you go in, do some quick play matches, go ahead and do some damage, and you will get free items, mostly based around the holiday season. So the only ones I'm really looking forward to is on the last day, which is a cockpit item, which is a golden package. Which
Hold
I
on,
think...
where they got the list of the things you got to do?
Oh, well, if you actually log into the game.
Oh, okay, got to log in.
If
In
you
game,
log
you
in,
can see future events. Of course.
I haven't logged in because I've been doing Dawn of War 2, so I've been for like a week. So
yeah, so
Yeah.
so the last day is a golden package. I don't know what that one is.
it's a ticket to Wally Wally Land.
Oh my god, it's gonna be the ticket to MechCon in your box.
But yeah, it's every day you get it's 50 MC and a Christmassy cockpit item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or on
That's kinda
the
cool.
on the 9th day, which is MechCon, they give you NVIDIA Dawn, which is I think it's a pretty cool cockpit item. Which if you guys out there who've seen it, it's the mascot for NVIDIA, which is like a fairy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's okay.
Oh, yeah, I got that one. It actually looks nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
Are
too
they
bad.
giving us more bagpipes?
No more bagpipes.
No.
Oh,
I know.
1,000 damage isn't too hard. Like, what's the second day?
Second
We're
day,
just going through like real quick.
what is going on right now? You're gonna get a hula elf.
And what do you got to do to get it though?
Get one solo kill, and that's it.
Oh
They're all
wow.
just like with the previous daily stuff. They've set the bar fairly low so that, for the most part, it's fairly easy to get. Thankfully.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, and
So-
to answer our person in chat, reality, I'm pretty sure they'll have another event after this one. Kind of how it goes.
Do you think?
Yeah,
they have,
they're
like,
pretty
events during
consistent with these events.
Yeah, since this is the 12 days of Advent, it ends on the 12th. 12 more days until Christmas after this one. I'm sure they will do 12 days of Xmas or
Yeah, the
Christmas
stocking.
or whatever.
and then probably
for some
another New
reason,
Year's spiel.
in my mind, when it say 12 days of Advent, I was sort of imagining, I don't know, clandestine events where you you're trying to destroy XCOM and steal alien technology.
Don't they have like a holiday for clans or something like that? And I read somewhere like in the clan lore they have like some type of clan holiday for Christmas or something.
Oh my
Whoa,
god.
whoa.
Yeah,
Lore?
yeah, lore actually. Yeah.
In MechWarrior? Oh man.
Shut up. I know it's there somewhere. I'll find it sometime. Someday I'll find the lore in Mechwarrior Online.
I just see Bob on just his hands and knees just digging for the lore. He's like, I will find it one day. It is here in the ground.
It's here somewhere.
Bob, have you found a faction planet yet that has any details?
God, shut up. There's no planet in there that has details whatsoever. Copy paste. Sorry, not cough.
One day,
on.
I want my Life Day event. That's all I want. I want Life Day.
Well, that's what I'm waiting for BattleTech, because like have you read like where they're actually going to have their place? I mean, BattleTech, from HBS is actually going to have all the lore around that area at that time.
But Bob,
so that's going to be freaking crazy.
But
what?
Life Day.
What? Life Day.
Over everyone's heads. Never mind. Okay.
Life Day.
Random question, guys.
Okay.
If any of you are in the client right now, if you
Yes.
jump to the faction play thing, some of the planets haven't loaded. They're just squares, black squares. in
Wait, what?
space.
What?
That's just a little glitch I'm stuck with.
Well,
Okay.
so I mean, I
Break
guess
the game again, fighter.
I don't think I have that.
Okay, just be good.
Yeah, I think it might just might only be you. Oh, and also Aetha for the chat there. We have Rono saying, but the real question is, when will we get more bagpipes?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Purchasing
More
now.
bagpipes.
Ooh, I found a square.
When will my quad-legged bagpipes come into
Quad mech lab.
Power armor, man. Power armor, baby.
quad bagpipes?
Quad
I demand.
bagpipes.
Quad
But it's
bagpipes slowpoke.
It's 3058 right now, right? Like in the game. Is that right?
Maybe.
Because it should have
kinda.
power armor by now. You know, elementals jumping around.
Good question.
Yeah,
Hey
I think
guys,
that-
before
Yeah.
we get too far, we actually have a legit question in the chat.
Oh, cool. Yay.
This is from, I'm going to butcher this as always, two things to whine in. Pajorafilas. God damn it. Okay, so mostly directed at me, but I'm going to just say to everyone, do you think that the problem with Battlefront loot crates will also affect companies like PGI?
Interesting question, actually.
The huge backlash against loot crates means hopefully they're not going to do something stupid.
Yeah, like, I mean, with all the backlash that EA got, I would hope that PGI would be smart enough not to go down the path.
That road?
Yeah.
Well, what's the...
PGI's loot crates are different. They just kind of
Yeah.
give them to you. You can just cash them out for shit.
And it's not
I mean,
required
It's
to
just
actually
they're
get
planning.
something.
They give you.
They're
they give
planning
you all the
to
time.
revitalize the loot crates. So
Yeah.
that
Yes,
sort
but weren't they
direction.
gonna go more towards my God, I'm not young and hip. But what that other new game that came out that people play?
Young and hip.
Sorry, yes, that.
Well, I mean, there's Overwatch at least.
Overwatch,
which
yes, that.
cosmetic.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah, weren't they gonna make it more like Overwatch? Kind of.
I don't know. Don't play
Perhaps.
that, so.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going from what I read, and people in our Discord were talking about it before, and they said that it might progress more towards like an Overwatch loop.
it
possibly.
might, but it's not. See, the problem is like with the EA like loot crates. From what I read, from what I know, I could be wrong in this, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is that they, in order to get Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, you needed to spend like 4,000 hours or 40 hours or something like that in order to go and have them unlocked or something.
Yeah,
And
now
you
it's
get-
40 hours each.
Yeah, 40
you had
hours
to
each.
invest a ton of time to actually unlock the content that was already in the game.
But
On
how
a
many hours
premium
have you?
for it.
In
how
a
many hours
premium
have you guys
product.
played? How many hours have you guys played in, like, say, Mechwarrior Online? I mean, I logged, I think, like at least like 1,500 hours.
I log a shit ton of this game.
Yeah, so
The difference is, at least in terms of people, consumer outlook and consumer rights, so to speak, would be: is the game free to play, or do you pay a premium price to get in?
Yeah, which is the
No,
problem that Battlefront
that's
had.
where PGA, that's where EA fucked up at, though, because it's a premium AAA title, and they shouldn't actually have to pay money to get crates to unlock stuff. With a free-to-play game, I can understand people purchasing crates to get stuff, basically, because that's the only way that they're going to actually have any type of revenue.
A free-to-play model, yeah, people understand that they want to try and commoditize your time to make you, make this thing a lifestyle choice, right?
Yeah,
So that's sort of with
exactly.
Mechwarrior Online, they want you to be playing, daily. That's why we have literally these daily events we just talked about, and why they're always throwing events, etc., etc. Whereas Battlefront and other premium titles, the expectation is quite different. You throw down a big wad of cash so that you can immediately jump in and enjoy a power fantasy, enjoy a multiplayer experience. But a lot of that is locked behind a wall that you either have to pay or grind for, and that doesn't feel so good when you're time deprived and you just really want to just sit down and have some quick fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that
Like
was another
Mechwarrior
thing about
Online,
EA
it's.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying,
Well, that's
in the
another
case
thing-
of in the case of Mechwarrior Online, the first time you sit down with it, of course, you have to go through the long tutorial, and then you don't even have a mech. You have to go through a long grind just to get your first mech. Like right from the get go, it's saying to the player, this is a game where you have to invest time if you want to get interesting stuff.
But is
Whereas
that a bad thing, though, basically, as far as like using time to get something that's, I mean, super duper cool and powerful and everything?
It's a matter of how you sell things to people, right?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
If it's sort
Marketing.
of like, imagine if you pay for a luxury cruise, vacation. That with those cruise liner things.
Yeah.
And they say we have a very nice stuff going on the cruise liner. Like there's a brilliant pool, but first you have to run on the treadmill for 10 hours to unlock it. And it's like, I understand you're doing
more to get it though.
Yeah, you either pay or you have to run on the treadmill, or you have to do some menial chores for us.
Well, I would say I wouldn't go on that cruise.
Exactly, exactly. You paid to go on this cruise liner, and now they're wasting your time. Whereas, if you went up to a fisherman captain and said, "Hey, I would really like to, enjoy the fisherman experience," it's like, "Okay, we'll move some crates to start with. Maybe I think I'll take you along." So that's more reasonable.
Oh,
you can understand if you have to pull your weight.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, like I think it's more rewarding actually if you actually spend some time to go and get the Darth Vader. 40 hours is not that much to go play in Battlefront 2 to get Darth Vader and Luke. Now, if a person spends on money for loot crates to get it earlier, I guess whatever, like I guess a skin or something like that, like whatever it is, I don't know what it is. He wants to spend money. That's his own thing, man. He's more rich than I am, I guess. I don't know.
I would say this, but it's if we look at previous games, like the whole Call of Duty franchise, they've since Call of Duty Call of Duty 4, they had the prestige system, right, where you slowly you don't even have the ability to customize your class at first, and you don't have all the weapons, you don't have all the
you gotta go play for a long time.
Yeah. What's the difference with that? Well, the barrier to entry, like you're always continually unlocking stuff. They're always giving you things. They're always slowly doling out things from the present bag. You're getting that steady drip feed. The thing with the Darth Vader thing isn't necessarily, I have to unlock it. It's 40 hours of dedicated gameplay for just that one gameplay feature.
So one character,
yeah. Whereas by contrast, in Call of Duty, there's this one really cool weapon that everyone's running around with. Yeah, that's good. That's a long ways away, but along the way, you're getting so much extra stuff. Like you can do a whole bunch of extra challenges. There's so many little goals and things you can do along the way. But in Battlefront, well, you're doing 40 hours of just the same thing with no progress in anything else until.
So, like, you think actually just having like a stock Darth Vader, and then at 5 hours you get Death Grip, and then 10 hours you get Super Jump, and then 15 hours you get Lightsaber Guy or throw a lightsaber or something like that? Do you think that'd be a better idea?
Well,
spend 40 hours.
Well, I think at least sort of even like Overwatch or something is a nice system because you play the game and you continually get boxes, right? And those boxes give you lots of bits and pieces. You might randomly get the thing you want, and you get money as well, which you can save up and then eventually buy anything, any cosmetic you want. So instead of using just credits for Darth Vader, if it was it made sense to just sort of play the game, get unlocks, and eventually you'd get enough credits to easily buy a Darth Vader. It would make a lot more sense. But as it is, they're forcing you.
Well,
like
triple title too.
Yeah, the economy is so cruel and brutal to the players. It does not feel rewarding, and that's a fundamental problem with that grind. You want to make grind rewarding, and that is the big problem.
Yeah, true.
True. One of the things that EA did with Battlefront is that they had announced that they were going to stick certain loadouts in the loot boxes, and the only way to get those loadouts was to go through the loot boxes and get them. And a lot of people bought into the pre-orders on it with the idea that would be part of the base game itself. And when EA announced that, that's when a lot of the backlash started firing up. Because they started locking what should have been basic game material behind a paywall of, in order to get this loadout, you could only get it through a loot box. So you have to just keep buying loot boxes until you get this loadout.
I do think a lot of stuff is misplaced though, as far as after reading a bunch of forums and stuff like that, looking at people. Well, this is gambling. It should be stopped. Basically, but they're putting a blanket on all loot boxes, all different things. It's like, how do you think free to play games make their money? They don't just out of the goodness of their heart make a game. Say, here you guys go. This is fun to do, type thing. They got to make money too. And I think a lot of stuff is misplaced because they want to go ahead and ban.
They're trying to attack a certain thing, and they can't do just that, so they have to lump
they
everything
blanket
similar into that same thing and just keep hammering it until it goes away.
Well, yeah, but the end result is a game company let's say like any free to play game like that has boxes whatever that they use to go make stuff. They can't make money now because the blanket statement of it's gambling for the kids. So then politicians step in. No one wins.
The gaming industry will die.
Oh yeah. But
if
basically
this keeps going the way the direction it's headed, all video games will come to a dead end. You'll be stuck with console games or really crappy computer games designed for 4-year-olds, and no one's gonna care anymore.
What? There's games not designed for 4-year-olds? Hold on, it's like wait a second here. Wait a second.
I would say this at least. There's obviously loads of different systems and gameplay grind and such that you can implement, and we've seen plenty of that throughout the decades. I think obviously there's more rewarding, less rewarding, more exploitative, less exploitative systems. Overall, though, it's really hard to draw the line because there's just so much variance in how you can do it. So I think there is certainly a place to say, how far can you screw over consumers? How far can you make this grind really painful? Until it's unreasonable. And consumers have a right at least to complain about that. And I think there is an argument to be made for consumer rights. On the flip side, however, one does have to be cautious with regulation and with throwing around terms like gambling and such too liberally. And I think that's at least something to be cautious about with this backlash, is that it's really hard to draw the lines. And in some regards, at least, I think it might be better if the industry self-regulates rather than the government trying to force it on them. Because a self-regulating industry, the thing is, at least from the industry's perspective, is you don't want to do what EA just did and push the lid too far. And you want to hold things back. And so naturally, if they realize that you shouldn't go too far, then things balance themselves out naturally. As long as the consumers, vote with their wallet and make their opinions heard, and they shout down the worst business practices, then the industry will catch on that they should not treat their consumers so poorly.
Exactly.
Very true.
Basically, I know if I don't like a game, guess what? I don't buy it. That's simple as that.
No, guys. Now, granted, I've been here in the corner being quiet is because it's been a huge, awesome discussion.
Corner,
so yeah, exactly. So I didn't want to cut any of you off, but we do sadly need to end the podcast because of No Guts, No Galaxies podcast happening very, very soon.
Very soon.
So. With that, guys, do you have any last thoughts? Anything at all before we cut it for today?
Mechwarrior 5, good. 80% good. 20% needs some criticism, and basically, that's fine. It's alpha. It's pre-alpha stage, no problem. The event, cool. I'll just do it for my alt and old Bob. Awesome. And loot boxes, good and bad. Just don't blanket, blanket statement, like all loot boxes are bad because companies have to make some type of money for free to play games. AAA titles, no, they got their own thing going on. Okay, that's it.
Cool.
Otherwise, anyone have any real thoughts about the MechCon? I think obviously at No Guts, No Galaxy are going to be able to cover this a lot better than us since I don't have much interest in it personally.
They got
all the way across the pond.
Yeah. They have sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to let them go.
We're sponsored by our own freaking computer screens. That's what we're sponsored
right.
And you, the community, thank you so much. We're sponsored by you as well, too.
Yes,
thank you very much, everyone.
And always, on Fridays, my Discord is doing a theme night tonight. So in about, I want to say 40 minutes, at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do about an hour of private lobby shenanigans. We're doing any weapons, no HUD. So there's no radar, no HUD. It's just us just to goof around for about an hour. Then afterwards, after that's done, you guys may have seen me in the mech lab. I'm making a flamer build because we're all bringing flamers. Every one of us.
Hold on. Everyone has to have at least one flamer. We're not
Yes.
just all flamer mechs.
Well, yes.
Although that'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Yes, but the
If you-
mechs. But the mechs are
If
bringing
you
in.
don't bring a flamer, then you have to be really obnoxious in chat.
Yes, exactly. So everyone's bringing at least one flamer mech of some sort into battle tonight after the no HUD private lobby shenanigans. So please tune in. That'll be later on. I don't know how long the No Guts No Galaxy thing is, but whatever. Yeah.
Unless you want people to join your Discord too, you might want to put your Discord thing out.
Oh yeah, well my Discord, it's on the YouTube homepage and it's also on my Twitch homepage. You'll see it. Click it and you'll get in.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember, if you join, you will get abused.
There's always the new person initiation where you hop in. I put all caps new person, and then it goes from there. So
We get the flame, yeah.
yes. And now we have
I do like turning people into cookies.
yes.
with-
Oh yeah, cookies.
Well, now we have the return of Tea Tree, so he's made a huge comeback. So
Oh,
there is
boy.
that. And Dragon, will I rate your shitty mech build in the Discord? Well, yes, we have a channel in my Discord for mech builds alone. So post it in there. Myself, Biter, Old Bob, we will all rate your shitty.
It's wonderful. I
mech build.
love it.
You'll be guaranteed that I'll probably rib on it.
Anyways, okay, we got to get to No Guts No
Oh,
Galaxy and
Shit, wait,
anything else? Sorry, go
sorry, there's also one other question. How will go the polls on the theme mech for the, okay, for the 16th 2-hour stream? Okay, I think what you're asking, I have not posted an update to my, my contest yet. I think the winner was the Boba Fett was the theme for this month. I recently rebuilt my computer. I was going to post an update last night, but didn't get a chance to. I'll be putting an update soon for people to give me Boba Fett builds for me to use all month, so I can pick a winner at the end of the month.
Cool.
Then on the 16th, well, more or less beginning on the 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing a 24-hour live stream of Mechwarrior Online that will benefit the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation because, well, I have Crohn's, I have an ostomy. So to help you guys keep me alive, to keep playing games, we're doing a charity stream to help people with this condition. Because it is a literal pain in the ass.
You just gave me a new meme. Keep Larsh alive.
Thanks, Bob. So yeah. So okay, great. Anyway, guys, if you are watching and you see my update video, I'll be putting up a new video, hopefully tomorrow, on the winner of the theme. All entries will be taken through my email account, not through YouTube.
Okay. Cool deal. Thank you, everyone, for watching podcast number 17. After this is No Guts and Galaxy. Check them out as well, too. Check out everyone's different channels. Aether, Larsh, Biter, and me, Old Bob. Thank you. And anyone else want to say something else? Or gone? Okay, we're done. I got
Remember, in a month and a half, something very important happens. The Piranha drops, and then all shenanigans.
all hell's going to break loose.
Because it's going to be retarded.
12 machine gun retards. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the battlefield.